Hello and welcome back to the Road to Doomsday, the MCU Rewatch show brought to you by the Nerd Academy podcast. Except no substitute. You made a face. Is the thing being weird again?
Mm-hmm. But it's not as consistent. Maybe it was just
Okay.
because you were moving around.
Um, that may have been it. I saw it
Stop moving! Handcuff you to the chair.
at this point. We're,
Some of the
we've made
viewers might
it.
like that.
We've made it 20 episodes into the Road to Doomsday, 20 movies in the MCU, and we are finally encountering some unfortunate technical difficulties. But I am your host, Jared Bachman Stubbs. I am joined, as always, by the lovely Miss Taylor.
Hello.
And we are here, as I said, with the 20th movie in the MCU. What I realize might ultimately be my favorite origin story movie in the MCU, Captain Marvel. You're just
I
gonna
am gonna
giggle.
have to handcuff you to that chair.
Am I just frozen for you?
No, but whenever you start moving, you decline in quality.
Okay. Like I said, I'll have to watch it back. We'll figure it all out. But like I said, Captain Marvel, a favorite of mine, a movie that was that suffered some of
Some of the rampant misogyny.
the internet culture war. Sure did a number on this flick, and we're
If
gonna
you
talk.
don't like this movie, you probably hate women. That's something that you might want to take up with a therapist. Hopefully, a female therapist if you're so brave.
Well, while you work on yourself and stop hating women, may I suggest some
Yep.
Sunday's Bloody Mary?
Honestly, bring some to your therapist.
Bring some Sundays to your therapist. The
It'll be
only
a
Bloody
nice
Mary.
icebreaker. Hopefully, they're not recovering. I'm sure it's good on its own.
Oh yeah,
There you
I've
go.
I've just drank the mix before. It's delightful. But the only Bloody Mary mix better than a from scratch Bloody. This former bartender trusts only one, and it is Sundays. Use the link in the description down below to get 10% off your order and help out your favorite nerds while you do it. Taylor, are you ready for some Captain Marvel trivia?
I sure will be. Totally wrong.
We have 3 questions here for you today. What rank did Nick Fury hold coming out of the armed services before joining S.H.I.E.L.D.?
So I don't know. Colonel?
Colonel.
Oh, did I say the old fashioned way?
Yeah.
The old timey way?
The old timey way. Yes, you did.
For like for back showing my age.
An homage to his rank in the comics as well, as he was typically just referred to as Colonel Nick Fury.
Oh no, no.
Colonel Nick Fury. I'm going to give you the point, but I don't want to. What movie script is Stan Lee reading in his cameo?
Oh God, I don't know. It was red and it had black lettering and white accents.
So, this is the only time, to my. Oh, that's not true. The only time in the MCU, I think, where a Stan Lee cameo is him playing Stan Lee, preparing for a movie in which he cameos. And that would be Mallrats.
Oh,
There's a scene where he takes a character aside and the character's like processing a breakup. I had the clip pulled up originally before I had to restart my computer. I forgot to, so we're not going to watch the clip now. But he does in the conversation hit the, you know, yes, true believer, that you said that just
yeah,
keeps
it was
echoing.
on a loop.
But I do like the idea that Stan Lee was like, I got to get it right because it's one of my catchphrases.
Mm. No, it's cute. I was just like weird because she's in a different car by the last time we hear it, and I'm like, it's weird that it's still there.
And then our last question. The Flurkin in the film is named Goose after the Top Gun character. What is the name of this Flurkin in the comics?
Doug.
Huh?
Doug.
It is not Doug. Think think like me. Think like me. What are you naming a furry creature who's
Oh,
traveling.
Chewbacca.
The Flurkin is named Chewie. But yeah, that's all for trivia. I like that one. As I had to save the Star Wars one for last, obviously.
Obviously.
But for a little bit of background, going all the way back to 2013, the Marvel Studios Writers Group wanted to tell a story led by a woman. While characters like Peggy Carter and Black Widow were thrown out there, Kevin Feige insisted that they utilize a character not yet seen in the MCU
I said
so that
always
they may give
Peggy
this,
Carter.
so that they may give this new heroine the full superhero origin treatment. And thus, they landed on the formerly now Captain Marvel, or the formerly Miss, now Captain Marvel. Ava DuVernay was offered her pick of Black Panther or Captain Marvel, and despite choosing Black Panther, she parted ways with Marvel Studios over creative differences. The directing duo of Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck were picked to helm the movie, with the story developed by Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the original writer before James Gunn rewrote the film, Nicole Perlman, and was written by Geneva Robertson DeWert. Brie Larson comically pushed for the inclusion of Nick Fury in the movie after they had worked together on Kong Skull Island. Captain Marvel had a budget estimated and ranging between 152 to 175 million dollars, and made 1.1 billion dollars at the box office. Call it a flop again, you fucking virgins. Call it a flop again. My ass, this movie is a flop.
Good.
Taylor's like, serves you right, you chuds. But Taylor, where were you when Captain Marvel came out?
I was seated.
Oh, I figured, but what was going
I
on?
was
How are you feeling?
seated. I vividly I don't remember a lot about like what was going on in like my greater life. But I vividly remember the red carpet premiere of this
Okay.
movie. Because it is one of the most stunning dresses any star has ever worn to her premiere. And the most iconic shot of her wearing the dress is in front of her poster, and she is absolutely serving. She looks so good. Um, for me, it was one of those moments where I was like, yeah, this is what it's about, baby.
Was it like
It's
the
the blue dress with the star, and she has the big sash, and then her poster. There's one that you could see, like her poster. She's like standing in front of it. Like, look, I think she's
okay?
looking at it in the one, and then the other one, she's obviously being photogenic as always. She's beautiful. She's Brie Larson.
Yeah, Brie Larson is gorgeous.
Pull the photo
What?
up.
I'm looking for it. You said
What do
blue
you?
dress?
How do you not? How can you not find it? It's iconic. It was
I
the
know. Okay, I'm
moment.
trying to find. I'm trying.
It was
I'm
a
trying
full
to
length
find.
blue dress with a big blue, like she had a big blue train on the back. It was like silver accents. She was absolutely stunning.
I'm trying to find a version of the image that is not 3 pixels wide. I'm not trying to have an Eli image quality here. One moment.
I'm going.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to screen share because the file type isn't working with me. Are we referring to this one here?
This is the dress,
But not the photo in front of the.
not the photo we're looking for.
That's so interesting. Okay, so that's at the London premiere.
Hold
Because when
on.
I looked up the premiere, it was like all of the. It was this kind of like tan, like almost taupe colored dress that was at the world premiere red carpet. So let me,
Nope,
because I
it's
want
the
to know.
London premiere.
Okay, so we're looking for London premiere. I know the image you're talking about, which is crazy to me. Oh, I found one of my favorites where it's Brie with the little girl dressed like Carol. This one I remember seeing and getting
Oh, I got
like
it.
really happy about. You have it?
Yes.
Cool.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause the recording and you can email it to me. All right, Taylor was able to hunt it down faster than I was, so
So
we're looking
quickly.
at.
Bam!
Oh, this one's so cinematic
Bam!
looking too. So cinematic looking. And then
So
we
good.
have,
Absolutely
yeah.
serving.
No, like I said, I thought I knew the picture you were talking about, and for some reason I couldn't find it to save my life.
Literally, I went to twitter.com, the website I go to sometimes. And I could find it. I'm so good at navigating that. I know exactly what to look for. That's
I'm
why
glad
I'm
you're
not good at
still
anything else.
you're great at so many things, but no, I love that. I know I was super excited for this one. You know, I there was a there, this movie comes out at such an interesting time because like I don't want to make it sound like that, you know, The Last Jedi was the beginning of the nerd culture war, because it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
far from it. You know, Gamergate was barely in the rearview mirror, you know, and Comicsgate was actively happening. You know, but this is the point in time where the fandom menace and like that whole cadre of jackasses, their their influence beginning to grow, and I think a lot of them realized just how much money they were able to make off of grifting on The Last Jedi, that when a woman came out and very proudly and forcefully was like, I'm here, you know, not to necessarily do a superhero story to represent all women, but make a superhero story that is like,
That is about a woman.
that is about a woman and has, then again, dude speaking, that very much traffics in themes about like who gets to decide who one is,
Yeah.
and being forced to like fit into specific niches by patriarchy, and you know, factor that in with the ridiculous double standard that, you know, the entire MCU is dominated by characters who, even when it's wildly out of character from their comic book counterpart, are constantly letting off sarcastic, dry, you know, little quips, and there's all, you know, it's the very Joss Whedon snappy jokey dialogue for everybody. When a woman does it, specifically not the woman you started the thing out with in Natasha, who was first served to us in the, you know, very male gazy way. Go back to our Iron Man 2 episode, you know, so sexy
Too
it's a
sexy
problem,
to function.
too sexy to function.
Too sexy to function. She was too
uh,
hot.
you know, outside of that, whatever, Brie Larson became what, like the newest persona non grata. Like it was, you know, at first it was Daisy Ridley, and then it was Kelly Marie Tran, and then it wasn't even Laura Dern. It was just Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo, uh, and then it was both Carol Danvers and Brie Larson. And you know, Carol was one of those characters who I loved when she showed up in cartoons that I had been watching as a kid, and even, you know, into those teenage years. Uh, she was a character who, when she showed up in comics I was reading, I was always excited to see. You know, I've said before, and I will say until the day I die, the cosmic side of the Marvel universe has always intimidated the shit out of me. There's just so much going on. It was one of those things that I never really had a chance to sit down and read, but I got excited every time I saw Captain Marvel show up, and I liked her as a character. And I love this movie. I love the journey she goes on. I remember seeing this a couple. I think I saw Captain Marvel in the theater 2 or 3 times. You know, one time was with friends, and then one time was with my little sister because, you know, she was excited. You know, we're also a couple years out from Wonder Woman, right? And
A movie I went to see with my mom.
a movie you went to see with your mom, and you know, it was around the same time that I think Hollywood was starting to realize it's safe to make a
Female led
lady
production. Yeah.
superhero who isn't
Women can
just like a
be the
supporting
star.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because again, like we have Black
It's
Widow and
still
Scarlet
profitable for
Witch,
a
and
woman to be a star.
right,
Or
and
not
it's
even it is profitable because it's a new lesson we're learning.
yeah, and it's one it seems like we're actively forgetting in real time as well.
Well,
Um,
that's because this movie made no money, won't you remember, Jared?
I know it was a flop.
It was a huge flop.
No men were going to see it because Brie Larson said no men allowed, and then it didn't make $1 billion. Which, by the way, I think this is our first three-peat.
Third big B in a row.
Yeah, because this would. Oh, wait a minute! I'm tipping my hand to the audience that we're recording this out of order. No,
You done did it,
I
Jared.
did it. It's our.
You did it.
We're totally not recording this before we do Ant-Man and the Wasp to accommodate our guest schedule.
You done
Um,
did it.
well,
That there ain't no way that made $1 billion.
no fucking way. No fucking way. Well, if you remember back to episode 0, all 3 Ant-Man movies put together, I think, have made just over 2 billion, if I remember correctly. So either way, this movie that people were counting out for an amalgamation of dumb reasons. I even saw people who like aren't super familiar with the comics, which is fine. I don't think you have to be a comic book aficionado to appreciate these stories. But I even saw people who were like trying to be smarter than the thing, a thing I hate more than anything in the world, almost. Um, Going like, "Oh man, Marvel's so out of ideas. They're just naming their characters Marvel," and it's like, man, this is like Carol Danvers has been kicking ass since before you even had diapers, big dog. Um, but no, I was just super excited. You know, Carol's a character I love. I was excited to see her kind of get into the Avengers, um, you know, cast and that ensemble. And that's one of the reasons why I'm super excited for Endgame, which is next week for you guys, even though we have another thing to do before we do Endgame. Um,
Stop telling the people.
I'm sorry, I already accidentally broke the illusion. We did good the last time we did this. I don't think it came up.
Well, don't tell them that
They
either.
don't have. They won't know. They'll have to
They are
figure it
gonna know
out.
now, and they're
But
going
they
to
don't know
figure it
when we
out.
did it. They don't know when we did that.
The people are smarter than you give them credit for.
I know anybody watching the Nerd Academy podcast is brilliant as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I love this movie. It fucking rules. And yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Um, I want to start with Carol's arc, just because, again, and like part of it's, and maybe this is a me problem, is that there's a part of me that has such a hard time viewing things that have become the like internet dude bro like antichrist without immediately going in for the double standard and without immediately going in for like how incongruous the opinions on this versus other things are. Similar with the Acolyte. It's like you fuckers have been begging for a story about the Sith for years,
Mm.
and you got a story about the Sith that paints the Jedi in a negative light for the most part, and y'all still got mad because it was woke as shit, um, in a good way. Uh, Similar thing here where people are like, "Oh, she's bland. She doesn't
Like
have."
that's just because those people can't handle. Like they honestly have never met a woman who didn't
No,
give birth to them, who's not legally obligated to be around them based on blood lineage. So like sorry.
you're not wrong,
Oh, I'm
but
not
like,
saying sorry to you sarcastically. I'm saying sorry to them sarcastically.
oh, I know, and I'm agreeing with you. Like, I don't know. Like, I watch this movie and people go, "Oh, like she has nothing going on with her character. She's a blank slate. Like, she's boring because she doesn't have her memories." And I just immediately go, "How many movies? How many video games? How many TV shows have this archetype of the incredibly powerful warrior who has no recollection of who they were at one point, coming to realize who they are?" Again, because of all those dude bros who all, cosplay as Star Wars fans, I'm like, oh, so you guys don't like Revan anymore, right? not like that's not the whole plot of KOTOR, is that you're just some random schlub who finds out he was actually Darth Revan all along. The
Me.
the Darth Revan was the friends we made along the way.
It's me. I've been Darth Revan the whole time.
But, um, but no, I really do love how it is presented here because even though, and I was doing the research, like quotes about, we're not setting out to tell a story to represent all women on the planet because how could you do that with a single story? But like we're setting out to tell a like uniquely feminine story and how it is. I really think it's beautiful that so much of the movie is people telling Carol who she is.
It's this one guy who sucks. He represents misogyny.
I mean, it's not just
Yacht Rock?
Jan Rog, who we just started calling Yacht Rock in the audio
Dude, like
commentary.
he
So prepare for Jude Law's character to be exclusively called Yacht
reduced
Rock.
to Yacht Rock. Because like no, the her arc is beautiful. I absolutely we will circle right back to it, but like there is something so like innate about the two things that are primarily determining who she gets to be is a man and AI.
Poignant.
It's a
Poignant in
man and it's
2026.
AI. Like she doesn't get to be anything besides what they have determined that she is allowed to be.
Right.
She has a power dampening little chip thing set to control her maximum power output.
One could say her bodily autonomy.
And they use it repeatedly to control her, to lessen her, to weaken her. And then also in the same breath, will say that that is how they are giving her power or that power or whatever. And gaslighting her into thinking that she is nothing but what they have set out for her to become.
Right.
And then she encounters a marginalized group of people who are being persecuted by a genocidal nation state set on conquering the greater galaxy and subjugating all people to their rule. Then
In a
Lamb
blood feud that the Kree like to pretend is
is
ancient,
some
that
yeah, but
everybody else
also
goes,
terroristic.
no.
Is also terroristic in nature because they are being victimized by the marginalized peoples who are other than, not like them.
Captain Marvel hits like a freight train in
So
2026.
then she lands back on her home planet that she believes that she is a foreigner in to meet up with a black guy and then them go on a quest together to find her possibly lesbian wife and daughter. I'm sorry, they
I
have
know
not been
how much you should
they
Monica
live
Carol.
they live in the house, like they all live together. There is no mention of Carol having a house, Carol having an apartment, Carol having her own rooms or spaces. She lives in their home, okay? And like her and Monica and Maria are a family. They are a
Right.
family unit. Yeah, I get it's Auntie Carol, but like sometimes it's easier than like mom and mommy, you know? Sometimes. Like, I'm sorry. You're gonna
They
tell
decided,
me
like, Monica, when you're older, you're going to realize that Auntie Carol wasn't just mom's roommate.
no, they were not, they were way more than just good friends, okay? They were more than just and they were roommates. They were roommates? Yes. Okay. I'm so sorry. It's just the world we live in didn't let her fully be who she is, and that's okay too. Okay. I
By
like so
Queen, Captain
they
Marvel.
they go on this journey where she meets up with a black man who is who is also being ousted by his own people because they are been infiltrated by the Skrulls who are actually good guys trying to get them in a corner so we can all just talk about things. And then
If I can interject for 1 second, one of the few reasons why I'm one of the only reasons that I'm even a little bit excited to get to Secret Invasion, aside from you're going to crash out because of how out of its mind bad that
Oh,
screenplay is.
I want Talos back. I love that guy.
Yeah, there's lots of Talos, but like there are a handful of really good scenes that brilliantly utilize the Skrull as like a allegory for like a displaced diaspora,
Yes.
and the interplay between Talos and Fury talking about their lived experience as a marginalized community.
Yes.
Like it's amazing, and it is Mendelsohn and Jackson carrying that dog shit screenplay that I am convinced was written around a single phenomenal scene.
They were like, all right, look, we got one thing. Do we need the rest?
That
We'll
scene
figure
had
it out.
people like me convinced for the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion was going to be great.
Yeah. So
Anyway, continue. My apologies.
and then we find out that her mentor is
Yacht Rock.
also no. Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
We find out her mentor is also a displaced person who was integral in the Korea War and genocide against multiple people, nation states, but the Skrulls specifically goes above and beyond, creates a light speed core to help them get away from the creep permanently, only to be murdered in cold blood
By her own people
by
for
her
fraternizing
own
with the enemy.
people. And then Carol takes on the power of this core, the energy core, and is then abducted by force by the colonizing peoples, essentially brainwashed into becoming a soldier and a murderer. And then, now that she knows all of these things, has to immediately confront the fact that and Talos is like, look, we all have blood on our hands. It's a war, baby. Like my hands are filthy, and I feel like that does so much for her in that moment. Like she really needed that.
It's such a
Um,
great line delivery from Mendelsohn. He's
it
like, Carol, my hands are filthy from it too. Like there's this
There's
mourning.
nothing we can do. This is what the greater world has set out for us. Like there is nothing that we can do.
Right.
And then for her to immediately be like, got it, let's go. I'm down for the cause. 100%. Nick too, immediately down for the cause. 100%. Maria down for the cause. 100%. She's gonna follow her woman anywhere. Her best friend, her roommate, wherever.
It's just really like this movie is, and again, like these are one of those
And then
instances.
no,
Oh, sorry.
and then Carol fucking decimates the Kree as soon as she is confronted by this AI who is determining who she, fucking and being such an asshole. Okay,
Yeah,
such a
Grok's a
douchebag.
prick. Grok's a prick.
Such a douchebag. Okay, as soon as the AI
We know
knew
it's
that,
the supreme intelligence for all the nerds, but we were
yes,
having fun calling it Grok in
we
the
know
audio
that as soon as the
commentary.
Supreme Intelligence knows that she knows what's up, like she knows everything, it doesn't matter. So I could be a dick now, which is crazy because the Supreme Intelligence is an egotistical maniac. And like, you're AI. You trained yourself to be that way. Crazy. So she confronts it while it is being an absolute dick to her. Okay. And then she is like, look, I know exactly who I am. I'm Carol fucking Danvers, and I have no strings on me. Fucking rips the thing off of her neck, and then absolutely dog walks them. Okay, and proceeds to continue to dog walk the Kree army until Ronan the fucking accuser shows up with ballistic warheads. Like 30.
Like just space nukes. Just space
And
nukes.
he's like, drop him. Bye. He's like, I can cure an infection one way. Murder. Drops a bunch of nukes. She blows them all up single-handedly. Single-handedly destroys 2 more Kree ships. Then emotes on Ronan the Accuser. And he says, the guy behind him is like, what about the Tesseract? And Ronan's like, and what about that woman? Turn around, turn the car around. Get back in the car.
We need to go. We need
And
to
I
go
was
right
like,
now.
first of all, Ronan is like, I'm down bad. I think Ronan's in love with her. I think Ronan saw that and was like, oh, smash. Mark me down as scared and horny. Let's go.
Well,
Fucks off with his tail between his legs. She goes down there, confronts Yacht Rock, and Yacht Rock is like, all right, yeah, now punch me, okay? Fight me like a man. And she's
can
like,
I can I get to can I talk about that moment for a little bit?
bitch.
Can I talk about how much I love that moment for a moment? Because to me, I can't tell.
You're interrupting my flow.
Sorry, but like I can't legitimately I cannot tell if Yanrag Yacht Rock
I
if
thought it
it
was
is
Yanrog.
Yanrog.
I'm serious. I thought it was Yanrog.
It is Yanrog.
You said Yagron.
I know. I've never said his name right. Go back to the old Hall of Heroes days in 2019. Never said that motherfucker's name right once. I called him Von Rog, Jan Rock, Rog Von. Like I've never said his name right. But
Put some respect on the visceral depiction of misogyny.
well, like what I love so much about it is I legitimately can't tell for him
Literally can't beat a woman, gonna blow up her planet.
if when he confronts her right at the end, when he's like, and he goes, I'm so proud of you because now's your opportunity to prove that you deserve those powers. I can't tell if that is sheer desperation because he knows there is not a snowball's chance in the fiery pits of hell that he can go 1v1 with Carol at this point. Or if he is so far up his own ass.
Yes, he is so far up his own ass.
That he can convince her on principle to just throw hands with him. It is such an astounding act of arrogance for him.
That is how he started the film, too.
I know. But like
and
that,
even
like,
with the control thing on her neck, she still would beat him. And he always lorded it over her. You can't beat me without your little sparkle hand.
Without the light show, as he calls it. But again, like it makes sense for him to do that shit to do that shit in the beginning of the movie because she's still like fully in the brainwashing, right?
Yeah.
By the end, and that's my thing, where it's like it's such an insane decision for him to make that I can't tell if this is hubris or desperation.
It's hubris and misogyny. Like I straight up, like he still finds some deep rooted source of control over her, and he will also control how the means of combat. Like he has decided.
If you can't beat me hand to hand, it didn't count.
It didn't count. It didn't count. Like he in his head, still in his head, she's never beat him. Genuinely. Because he's still alive. So genuinely.
To use wrestling terms, it's one of those like you never beat him clean. Like it's like, you know, there's an intervention or somebody cheated or some weird some weird outside force is the reason why like Carol Danvers has never, or Veers has never defeated me one-on-one.
Yeah.
And like I said, I remember it from when I saw this movie when it came out, but sitting here now, like I was fucking dying because I remember there's a moment where he tries to be like, come on.
Yeah.
And she just Indiana Jones in Cairo, just boom, like half a mile back.
I have nothing to prove to you. Boom. Done. We're done.
We're done.
Literally, the thing is, that's why it's like, no, there is a genuine sense of, I don't care if he is trying to like distract or whatever. He knows there's no help coming. Okay. At this point. He knows there's no help coming. The best thing for him right now is for her to kill him in his mind. Also,
Yeah, can't
so
go back
like
empty-handed.
can't go back empty-handed. You might like don't send me back. So she like I have nothing to prove. Like I literally just sent Ronan the Accuser packing with a fucking Fortnite emote. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You can say that I didn't beat you all you want. I literally just dog walked Ronan the Accuser's army.
An
He said
entire fleet gone
they
inside
said, "Oh,
3
but
minutes.
sir, what about the Tesseract? What about a literal Infinity Stone?" And he said, "But what about that woman? Yow." I don't know if Lee Pace is gonna play that Ronan's gay or he's in love with Carol. Either way, I love it. Because in that moment I could go either way. The way that he said, "But that woman."
Well, it's also so great, and like what you're saying is very fun, but it's also like even though Ronan does not have a lot of meat on the bone as a villain in Guardians 1, like Lee Pace is fun to watch
Yeah,
because he's so crazy and
he
terrifying.
just likes the Oriform.
But like, yeah, like Ronan the Accuser of all of the MCU villains might be the most quote unquote hype moments and aura of
Yep.
them.
Oh, absolutely.
But what we
He like
do
goes,
know, what we do learn about Ronan as a person in Guardians 1 is this is a violent, radical, vindictive, dogged lunatic who will do anything in the name of his conquest and in the name of Kree supremacy.
mm-hmm.
And the fact that he watches that fleet get obliterated, and even Ronan's like you said, put this shit in reverse right now.
All right, honey.
We
Yeah,
are
the
not
Tesseract,
fighting
the
her.
Infinity Stone. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good. We're here for scrolls, actually. So let's turn the car around. They weren't here anyway. Who would know? Who would know?
Yeah. And what I also love, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, is like the little bit of implied retroactive continuity. Because they never say, for obvious reasons, it's the order these movies came out in, uh, that Captain Marvel is a direct cause of the Kree mostly demilitarizing.
Mm.
But
But she is because for the next
like you can tell,
20 years,
like the Kree can
she
only
is
go after
out
the
there.
scrolls so many times before she does another one of these
Yeah,
before the
she's gonna
Kree
just
go,
keep doing that.
maybe we just make peace with Xandar.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
we just don't have
Which
beef
is by
with
the time we get to
Nova
Guardians,
anymore.
the Kree and the Skrull and the Xandar, the peace talks are like a thing that are
Yeah.
happening, and like
Like
you
we know by
know,
the time of the Marvels and Secret Invasion, etc., that like the Skrull are still like an
or being
oppressed
persecuted, of
people,
course.
and
Well,
like
when you're a
part
shape,
of that
when you're a group of shape shifting,
and part of that is because of how much damage the Kree did to them culturally.
yeah,
Is that because they are so much of a diaspora people and are so scattered to the wind that like the Skrull are going to spend at least centuries because they're a spacefaring people and are scattered across of the universe.
well, now they're a spacefaring people.
Yeah, but even then, like Taylor was saying, like there's some of it. Like he says in the movie, like there are thousands of us all over the galaxy
Well,
hiding.
because of everything that happened. They had a home. It was taken
Yeah,
by the Kree,
like
and now they're fucked.
even if like this movie goes even further and like Carol is able to like cripple like the Kree's military arm and like the scrolls are no longer in any type of like immediate like life threatening danger, they still are going to spend centuries putting the pieces back together.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no way you can rebuild from a genocide quickly.
Yeah. But I just love that like
Yeah,
bit of retroactive continuity that like, oh, by the time the Kree are like laying down their arms and making peace with the Zendarians and starting to like, maybe not be a violent psychotic military force anymore,
maybe we should stop just killing people.
that is probably in large part to do with what your most powerful warrior accept like went on this journey and said no more.
Yeah,
And everything you're saying, everything you've alluded to, with like kind of your funny summary is that like, and again, I'm not here to say that a movie made by the Walt Disney Corporation is necessarily trying to promote radical politics, because it's not, and it could
No.
never. And or, um,
It unfortunately, when you're in
but
a capitalist hellscape and your main form of monetization is regurgitating the same plots that you had 25 years ago because you want to capitalize on millennial and Gen X demand for I remember. Yeah, no, you're usually not like on the right side of history or anything.
I mean, I don't
Also, when
fully
you
agree with
just
that. But
continue to buy every other network and channel just so that way you could have a full chokehold and stranglehold and monopolization on the entire entertainment industry, whatever.
what I'm saying is like, while I don't think this is a piece of radical political theory, it is still a good crash course for the concept of intersectionality.
There is a movie that is saying something, and all you have to do is literally just watch the movie and
Yeah,
be like, oh,
like
oh,
when we want to talk about like what woke, like what the fuck does woke mean? Captain Marvel is a woke movie.
yeah, yeah,
The movie's about intersectionality. It is about how different people are either brought up into a cause they don't fully
colonization,
understand, colonization, misogyny, brainwashing, racial supremacy, like all, and the way that everybody is affected by all of those things
genocide.
in wildly different ways.
Yep.
And in a lot of the same ways, but the different to different effects and to different ends. And
War
again, it's one of
leaves
those
nothing but
things.
victims behind. Every single person who's involved in any kind of war, whether it be on your couch or in the streets or on the field or in, on the computer, like everybody, like war affects everybody no matter where you are.
Right,
Anytime that there is a conflict, we are all like, it's one of those, like, we are all, not just we are all people, but like in the greater scheme of things, like there is no like effect without cause, and the greater nature of things does affect all of us at the end of the day. So whenever people are like, well, why does it even matter to me? It doesn't have anything to do with me. Well, you're wrong. You're factually incorrect because it does have everything to do with you. It has everything to do with all of us. We're all creatures who like we're all idiots in the fucking same galaxy. Okay, like I'm sorry, everybody lives here. We all have to play a part. Okay, you just don't get to opt out because you don't feel like you care.
to quote another $1 billion movie, they all live in symbiosis. That would be the Phantom Menace.
Oh. I would not have gotten that.
The Trade Federation attacks the Naboo. Surely you understand it will affect you as well. We should know canon about the Naboo. Anyway,
Okay, we got that impression out of
bet
it.
you
Mark
everybody at
that off
home,
at home on your bingo card.
Boss Nass impression.
Bam. And
Um,
if that's a bingo, DM me, you'll get a prize.
and you don't get to count me making a Wild Wild West joke on a recent episode either, because any type of Will Smith joke is a free space.
No, 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 no,
Um,
no. There are different spaces.
you don't think
Because
of Will
Kenneth
Smith?
Branagh has a different space. Then Giant Spider Mech has a different space.
Okay, Wild Wild West cannot have that many bingo spaces.
Jared, how many times do you Richard, get out of there? How many times? Sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. Um, my goose is causing troubles. My flurkin. Um, he did throw up today too. It all came full circle to me.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's at ouch.
Ouch.
He's being really mean. Yeah.
I think we're having such a great conversation about intersectionality that he wants to speak on the Flurkin perspective.
I think he does. And honestly, he probably has a lot to say about it, and none of it will understand because we don't fucking speak cat. Sorry. You don't get to talk on this. Anyway, I'm gonna knock you into next Tuesday. I don't even know where I was going. I'm being harassed. Okay. Like Brie Larson was
Yes,
for
indeed.
this movie to come
Hold
out.
on, let me pause for 1 second. I figured out what you were talking about. It was basically about how, war and conflict affects us all, regardless of what side you're on, and how it kind of, you know, deeply
Yes,
affects us and changes us.
yes. Before the cat so rudely interrupted.
Right. Our
um,
pro-war flirkin.
yes,
Um,
that's all he
but
likes to do is cause conflict.
but no, like I said, I just really do love this film. I just need to just
Richard would have loved Henry Kissinger.
no.
You're the
Um,
one who said it was pro-war.
okay, let me reframe. Anti-imperialist. Pro-fighting
Anti-establishment.
imperialist. Anti-establishment flirkin. I do want to take a moment though and talk about Brie Larson's performance,
So
just
good.
because, again, like she's so charming, and the whole movie is telling people, stop me if you heard this one before. Hey, lady, who's like, being groomed to be in a position of power, you're too emotional.
Mm.
And again, I think it is remarkable
Says a man named Yacht Rock.
because of a guy named Yacht Rock. I think it is so like hilarious, but unfortunately predictable that so much of this movie was people complaining. Were people criticizing Carol for things that weird nerds online would say almost like religiously going into this. Too wooden. She's too stoic, but also like it's just all of these weird things, and it just her performance is somebody trying her best to like suppress who she is. And there were some people who said, "Well, Captain Marvel's still so wooden." I'm like, no, like Carol is carrying so much burden, and I think there is a stark difference for Carol when we see her again in the Marvels, when we see her again in Endgame, that this isn't somebody who's being forced to be stoic anymore. This is somebody who is like
Or being hardened by war, by being
who's been
hardened by
hard,
genuine, like, active combat. Because let's be serious, she's a
who
great
stayed
soldier,
for
she's
the
a great
Guardians is the
warrior.
only super spacefaring superhero
Yeah,
really
that we know of.
that we know of.
Because
But
the Nova
like
Corps have been decimated.
but like she says in Endgame, she's like the rest of the universe doesn't have Avengers.
Yeah.
Like she's carrying this shit on her fucking back.
Where
You
were
know?
you for New York? Well, where were you for literally anything?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that the planet, like your planet doesn't exist in a vacuum, which is again something that like is so consistent for her, is that like, wow, like you guys are so special and different. I bet nobody else has ever gone through this.
It's just like I
Psych.
said,
Psych.
she is so good. Like she brings such charm to the role, but also does carry a I don't know an elegant way to phrase this that isn't
She
clunky.
carries the gravity with her.
There's a
That
gravity, there's a solemnity to her that is not being forced onto her. It is the solemnity of somebody who understands that like
war has a
she
cost.
yeah, that war has a cost and like people need protecting.
And she
And
is the one who has to pay it
yeah,
because of something that happened to her completely out of her control.
but she's still charming and she's still kind and she's
And
still
she's so
funny.
funny.
But there's still a burden on her shoulders. And again, I think the way that people talk about Captain Marvel is
It's
just
very similar to me.
it's
It's very
so
similar to how
confusing.
T'Chaka was talking to T'Challa. It's hard for a great man to be king. It is hard for somebody who is great to be in a position of I am trying to make peace.
Right.
I am trying to make peace happen. I am trying to help people, not hurt people, because it's very easy to be somebody who has an almost unlimited amount of power in some ways. Um, to be like, no, I'm just going to do this.
Right.
This is what's going to happen. I am going to come to Hala and I am going to destroy the Supreme Intelligence single-handedly, and you can't stop me because I am a weapon. Like, you could go that route. Did she
Really
go that
bummed we
route?
didn't get to see that happen.
What?
Really bummed we don't really see that happen.
But still, like, no, but you could go the route that like she could become like a force of just unstoppable anger. and make the decision instead of, the moment that Ronan shows up, she could have made the decision to wipe out the entire force. She
Yeah.
could have killed everybody.
And in hindsight,
She should have, but that's a conversation for a different
you
dance
don't know
off.
specifically who's piloting or who's commanding these ships, but if anybody deserved to go, it was Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah. But, you know, we make decisions. And like again, but the thing is that like she can make the decision, like she could make the unilateral decision to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be in charge of the galaxy now.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make the unilateral decision that until somebody more powerful than me stops me, I'm gonna be in charge of everything. And she doesn't. She actively makes the choice to help people, to give people chances, and to she gives Yarok a chance. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
sending you back with a message. Don't send me back empty-handed. Like he's literally like, I don't send me back empty-handed. I'd rather be dead. And she's like, nope, I'm making the decision for you that you have to live. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to go back and you're going to tell the Supreme Intelligence that I am not going to fight their war for them against a diaspora people who, like, if we want to make a big way back comparison, we're looking at the Jews leaving Egypt under the rule of the Pharaoh. Like, you know, people who are persecuted for literally no good reason except for being other than.
Yeah.
And her being like, I'm not doing that, actually. It's like, I'm gonna help them find a home. And if you get in my way of helping them find a place where they can be, then I will go through you. And then once I find them a place to be, I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah.
I'm coming
And it,
straight
and
back.
and it's on like fucking Donkey Kong.
And you have until I fix this shit to get your shit together. Because you can make the decision to stop. I'm gonna give you that time. Be polite with it.
Right. But with that, do we have anything else for Captain Marvel?
This is a great movie. If you don't like it, you hate women. That's just a rule, actually. I'm sorry. I don't make them.
As a male feminist, I'm with her.
I said that during the fucking audio
I know you did.
commentary
I know,
immediately.
and you stole emoting on Ronan from me, so
Yeah,
we're
I
even.
did. I did. No, I love this movie. I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think Brie Larson is absolutely incredible in her role. I think Jude Law did great as the human embodiment of, sorry, the Kree embodiment of misogyny. Gemma Chan sure is here. And she will show back up again later. Not blue.
Not blue.
Um, I
And in the
love
movie, I am sure we will have lots to say.
so much. I absolutely love Maria Rambeau. Love her down bad.
Oh yeah.
Love Fury. That's my boy. Talos, dark horse pick for one of my favorite characters. I love that sassy little guy.
Ben Mendelsohn's
So
just so
silly.
fun to watch. Like I'll take anything with Mendelsohn in
He's like,
it.
look, I'm coming here to you in my true form because I'm being so nice and I'm trying to make peace. And they're like, well, what about that guy who's holding my daughter hostage? And he's like, baby, you got me there. I wouldn't call it hostage so much as I would call it being watched.
Talos is just so much fun. Like I said, like Ben Mendelsohn inside of 3 years has two roles in blockbuster movies where he is just so fun to watch because he is so snarky, sassy, and a little bit like quivering. Or not like quivering and like he's fearful, but sniveling, I should say. Like between Orson Krennic and Talos,
I would not say Talos is sniveling.
in his humor, he is. I think there's a sniv. I think there's a little bit of snivel to Talos, at
Hmm.
least before we understand like the, at least until they do the rug pull where they're like, oh no, like this alien species that all you Marvel nerds are used to being a big, scary, Fantastic Four villain are actually the victims. Um, Before that rug pull, I do think Talos is sniveling.
Hmm. Agree to disagree.
But either way, it's just, but the humor is the same. the humor is the same between Krennic and Talos. You know, it's that same like, are we blind? Deploy the garrison. Like
That silly little
just
guy.
just scenery chewing. And as much as it pains me to say, he's even funnier in Andor. But
Your favorite show?
my favorite show. But if that's all we have, Taylor, where can the lovely people find you, my dear?
You can find me at Quicksilver Girl, GRRL, at Blue Sky, whatever. And then you can, that's it, actually. I didn't know where I was going with that. Jared,
Yes.
you?
Me?
People find?
Me find on
Internet?
Instagram and Blue Sky at Dark Jedi 2552. And you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, wherever you get podcasts, on YouTube, and on our website, thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our thank you to our $10 patrons, Ray Clausen and Paco. $10 patrons get a shout out at the end of every episode, and $5 and up patrons get early access to every single episode of The Road to Doomsday, as well as exclusive access to our audio commentary series for the movies. While we are recording this, for those of you on the main feed, on January 26th. If my math is right, you are not seeing this until late February at best, early March, I believe.
Definitely in February, at least.
So get your money's worth and binge The Road to Doomsday along with us. But
you could be my best friend.
you can also catch Taylor and I on Luminous Odyssey, the High Republic RPG series we're doing on the All Remaining Systems YouTube channel. As I said, set in the age of the High Republic. By the time this is out, I'm sure I could say the most recent episode, the Great Hyperspace Disaster, has just happened, and our heroes got to figure out what the hell is going on. Even more so for Taylor, as she has not read the High Republic and has no idea the calamity that is about to take place.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Everybody's like really distressed, and I'm just like, take a chill pill, okay?
You can also catch myself over on the Epic Confrontation Star Wars Trivia Show, hosted on the Star Wars in a Galaxy feed. Again, by the time this is up, I'm sure this match will be out. Michael McCoy and I had our debut match as the Jedi Princes in the teams division against Goose of Triad of the Force, and Sean Room, former Star Wars Dragon Con Trivia champion and host of Bogus Cantina. So go check that match out. I'm not going to spoil it here, but it was a great time had by all. Really excited to actually be in the teams division for real this time. Lots of fun. I hope. I'm thinking Michael and I might make it all the way to the end of this tournament. But yeah. Oh, and Pro and Noob with Mitch692, the anime show where he's showing me anime I've never seen before because I haven't seen a lot of it. We're currently making our way through Attack on Titan, a show Taylor hates to wake up and see me watching. She has never not once walked in while there was a normal thing happening while I'm watching Attack on Titan.
Absolutely never, not once. I've seen it clips many times now, and not a normal thing has ever happened.
Not a single normal thing has ever taken place while I'm watching Attack on Titan, and she is in the room. But going through Attack on Titan right now, you can go back and check out our coverage of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Cowboy Bebop, Dan to Dan seasons 1 and 2, and like I said, we're doing Titan right now. But with all of that said, that's where you can find us and everything we do. Next week, we are in the end game. We're going to do whatever it takes. Avengers Endgame next week as we get to the penultimate movie of the Infinity Saga and get ready to wrap up Phase 3. Avengers Endgame next week on the next steps on the road to Doomsday.
Bye-bye.
I clicked the thing and I don't know what happened. You said
you
goodbye.
would. I hate you.
No, the stream didn't end.
Yeah, I know, but you were going to.
No, I was going for the Cookie God bumper.
You lying.
I'm not lying.
Bye-bye.
Would you have to say goodbye again?
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!